Too Short, got to tell you on a personal level here, I'm still so grateful that album number 10 wasn't actually your last album, because if it was, we wouldn't be blowing the whistle. So thank you for sticking with it, my pal.
Yeah, that was just some good marketing.
Trick all the high school kids, tell them the career's over. Hey, 2 years ago, there was a Major League Baseball team that was really trying to rush its way out of Oakland. And literally at the same time, Paul and Brian were working so hard to try and rush a baseball team back into Oakland. I know now you understand it better, what they were up against and everything they've been doing since. What's impressed you most about how much they've done and so quickly?
Well, I think it was a necessity, man, for the city, man. Like it really was a big void that was filled quickly.
Yeah.
And the A's did burn rubber. They got up out of there. They didn't even have a place to go to when they left. So something bad must have happened. But I think the Ballers came through, man. The first thing that caught my attention was the name
Right.
and the apparel. I'm like, we're starting off on a good foot.
Right. I hate the fact that what the A's did played into one of your songs. That's too unfortunate. But when you first heard of this opportunity to become a co-owner of the Ballers, and I know that was officially announced back in March, what was your thought process like? Again, I understand your first impressions were good, but what were the other things you considered before saying yes?
How much of a sports town Oakland is, and how much I knew people would just jump behind it based on the anger about the A's leaving and the love for sports. So I just knew it. I've been to many A's games. I've been to many Raider games. I've been to a lot of Warrior games. I know the dedication of the Oakland fan, and it's the Bay Area altogether.
Yes.
Just Oakland alone. When Oakland is with you, they're with you. So the Ballers appealed to me immediately because I just wanted to be a part of anything sports in Oakland.
How do you explain it to people from outside the Bay when they say, oh, the Ballers are trying to replace the A's? That's not really what it's about, right? I feel like I understand that. I know you understand it, but how do you explain that?
I would say this is more about community,
Yeah.
and it's about baseball, but it's really about the community from the start. It was something that was fully intended for the enjoyment of the community. The A's, over the years, a professional franchise. I don't think the A's ignored the community, but it's impossible for them to have been this involved or this welcoming because of just the professionalism, big time MLB, whatever. I've I've never in all my years had any invitations to the A's to get this close and be this involved. So, and the Ballers didn't just reach out to me, they reached out to a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life to come be a part of the movement. And I think it was really smart because they hit the ground running. Like people are invested in, they're having a great season. And it's the perfect replacement for that hunger that
Yeah.
was about to be there when we started missing our sports teams.
I don't want to let this play out too long before I mention that right now the Ballers are playing for a Pioneer League championship. Tomorrow night they're about to have their first home game of this series. But
Yeah.
speaking of Ramondi Park, I mean, even 3 years ago, you know what it looked like. I know what it looked like. To think that we're playing professional baseball games there and a championship, it's almost like hard to believe, right?
Well, yeah, man, I'm just proud. This was not any of my personal expectations. I just wanted to be a part of, something that the kids would enjoy and something that the city could be proud of when you put on a Baller's hat or a Baller's jacket. This is the icing on the cake.
Yeah. Hey, people look at you and say, well, Too Short's a rapper, he's an entrepreneur, he's a businessman, and I know you're getting involved with the Ballers at a business level. And maybe you understand the departures of those other teams on a business level, but I also feel like you take a lot of this to heart, right? Like a lot of this for you is personal. This isn't a business transaction here.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of those kids who worked the Oakland A's games. I had
Yeah.
a job and I was a vendor selling Coca-Cola. I'm hurt that all three teams left the Coliseum complex. They just left.
Yeah.
And you could point the finger at the city, you could point the finger at each individual owner, the leagues, but we don't have a team as fans. We don't have teams. So, I'm 100% invested in this Baller thing. It's very, 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 very personal. And just like I said, man, it's just it's the community. It's bigger than baseball.
Yeah, and on that note, I want to shift forward like to the future of this franchise. Certainly hope that they can have a good championship around here. I think things can go better for them, I hope. But beyond winning games and beyond providing entertainment in the summer months for East Bay and Oakland fans, what is that number one thing you think the Ballers are doing right now for the community? And what's the next steps of things they can do? And is this primarily youth-based? Is that kind of what you're thinking about the Ballers?
Well, that's what I'm focused on, what
Yeah.
it's doing for the kids. I know that just having a park in the community, the games, everything is cool, but they go far and beyond the Call of Duty to make the kids be involved. And that just means everything, man. When you just see positive things, it just it resonates as positivity to the community. So I just hope they keep it up, man, in the
Yeah.
future. I hope that the franchise grows, as the league grows, I hope that they keep the little ones involved and just have, me personally, just on an economic just level, I think that we need to interest more kids in baseball because
100%.
of all the professional sports, baseball, you have opportunity to have like the longest career, the biggest salaries, and the glitz and glamour of boxing and NBA and NFL kind of loses the MLB kind of loses the glitter because they're just so, straightforward, so serious. And that baseball dream should be a real dream. It should be, if you're an athletic kid and they're like, I just want to play basketball and football. And it's like, if you do the numbers, MLB players have way longer careers. Baseball players, they get more money, man. So, you know,
I just want to make sure Oakland's going to set to produce the next Ricky Henderson, Dave Stewart. You know what I'm saying? Like, just to make sure that that still exists in the community. Hey, two more quick things for you. Number one, as part owner, do you get to throw some ideas in the hat? Like, is Short Dog part of the process here or what?
a little bit from the start. We had some sit downs and some discussions beforehand, but it was mostly about like what would my involvement be and how I could help.
Yeah.
And maybe when it gets down the line and it comes time for a certain specific thing, I will be a voice. If I haven't seen anything that I would cry out loud and go, stop, don't do it like that. But I promise you, I'm that kind of person. If I could think of a way to do it better, I would make a suggestion.
You're the creative type, man. We need that. And then the last thing here is we're in 2025, and I've always said for the Ballers, it's not even about these first couple years, it's about the long game. So where do you see this franchise in 2035?
Well, hopefully I see this team loved by the city. I think that I've traveled around a lot, and I think that I've noticed other cities who have minor league teams really embrace the team.
Hmm.
The stadiums are, really nice. I would like to see the Ballers even get maybe a bigger stadium at some point because the fan base will outgrow that stadium.
Right.
And then, and then it will be, one of those things where it sits in the city because I don't know if you traveled around and seen the minor league baseball stadiums around the country. They're really cute.
Right.
They're really nice little I performed in a few. They look good and they're smaller. They're like compact size, but they're nice.
Yeah.
I think that, win a couple championships. We'll get that for you.
Fixing up Raimondi was a start. I'm with you, though. There's more to do here. Hey, I'll leave it with this. Maybe I could make a suggestion for you. You could switch up the lyrics a little bit. What's my favorite word? Ballers!
Exactly. We got to do a remix. We'll do a remix. We got
We'll
it.
keep it family friendly. Too Short, thank you so much.
All right. All right, man.